Hi friend, welcome to this cozy little corner of the internet. It's a crisp fall day this morning in the mountains of California. The air smells like pine trees, the birds are happy and so are the squirrels. The sun is especially shiny and we're on a hike, just to enjoy all that nature offers in the fall. It's the simplest thing.
Having them hot too, it's like for the cream.
Yeah. Okay, kind of controversial. Let me know if you're like me. I think I might actually kind of love getting up early in the fall and winter months to do baking. It's equally cozy and productive, and it just makes the whole house smell so good first thing in the morning. So today I'm making cinnamon swirl sandwich loaf. This is my kids' probably all-time favorite thing I do with sourdough. It's soft, doesn't have that crunchy exterior, and it has a swirl of cinnamon and sugar in the middle. When the kids got up, we made breakfast. This is one of our all-time favorite autumn breakfasts, apple pie oatmeal. We make it just by chopping up apples and putting them in a pan with some maple syrup and some cinnamon and letting it just caramelize for about 5 to 8 minutes or until you see bubbles happening in the maple syrup. And it is incredible to me how delicious this is and how much it tastes like apple pie. You have to try it. I'm so glad you're here with us for this very autumnal day. We're also going to do some baking and just homemaking and spending time at home. I hope that this video sets you back on a slower pace and offers you a little bit of calm. We were a little bit too leisurely to make it out here for sunrise. That was the plan. But what a perfect way to start the day anyways. All bundled in the car with coffee and hot cocoa and breakfast. Just to be out here. Breathing the fresh air, enjoying a new day, this beautiful season. And hopefully, if we're lucky, catching the Canadian geese arrive to our little town on migration. It's funny to me sometimes that the term slow living is even a thing. But in our modern age, I suppose it makes sense that spending your days more connected to nature and to family and to savoring what's available to you is a whole movement. It's a hard thing to sum up into just one sentence or two because anyone could be practicing slow living no matter where they live or what they do for work. Therefore, I guess it seems that slow living is more about how we feel than what we do. It's about creating more of those savory, grounded, unhurried, and joyful feelings for ourselves in our everyday lives. And for me, creating that feeling always starts at home. In the fall, I have a desire for more comfort, more warmth, and more creativity. I hope that this video fills you in your home with a little bit of inspiration for more of those autumnal feelings. Hey guys, I just want to take a minute to tell you about my Wholehearted journal. This is my first ever slow and seasonal living journal, and this is the fall edition. It is 90 plus beautiful pages filled with inspiration and information about all things slow living in the fall. I have written articles and recipes. There's stuff in here about slow living with kids, as well as articles about minimalism, embracing what you have, learning how to shop your home for seasonal home decor, and of course, lots of from scratch cooking recipes, seasonal recipes, and exclusive live cooking videos. Just check out the link in the description to get yours. As always, thank you guys so much for supporting me and my work. I think we often bite off a little more than we can chew. And by we, I mean me. I thought we could hike a lot farther than we could, and we ended up needing to drive the rest of the way. But we did see the geese, so that was a win. I think that in the autumn, it's a perfect time to reflect on things that went well and also what didn't, to celebrate our growth and just to acknowledge the past year and the transition into the coming one.
There they go. Oh, there's more coming.
I often need this reminder, so I'll leave it here for you too. We're not meant to be or do everything all the time. The Bible says to everything under the sun there is a season, and I think that includes you. Because everyone's excited to make homemade bagels. It's gonna get lighter so you'll be able to see better, but you would think I'd figure this out by now, but I have this habit of never being able to find my mic. It's a thing. I love the mornings. I like to get up and have my collagen hot chocolate or my tea and watch the sunrise and just have quiet time. I have passed on this fondness of the mornings to my children. So they too like to get up early in the quiet of the day. So we are here together and we're gonna make some bagels. It's almost 6 a.m. and I just wanted to show you this recipe. I doubled this recipe per usual. I always double or triple recipes. So this recipe makes 8 bagels, but I'm gonna make 16. I have 2 baking sheets and we're just gonna shape these into bagels and then I'll show you the rest of the process. I remember the first time I made bagels, I was really intimidated because the recipe was like 3 pages long. But once you do it once, you realize just how easy it is. Pretty much everything I bake I do with sourdough, and I always let it ferment a whole lot longer than the recipe says, which is so funny to me because my mom's getting into sourdough right now, which is really fun. And so she's like taking care of her starter and she's like, I can't believe how long it takes to make something with sourdough. And I'm over here like, hey, I'll get there when I get there. Don't rush me. So this has been fermenting for double the time in the recipe. I'll put the recipe in the description box so you can see it. in full written form, but I thought also the way I learned is by watching someone else do it. I thought you guys would wake up to the smell of fresh bagels. I think it was last year about this time we spent a day in New York, and I really wanted to try a New York bagel. And I don't think we even got to, did we? Because the lines were so long in the morning. I had no idea that like you need to get after it at like 5 a.m. to get a bagel. So now I'm gonna shape these. For whatever reason, bagels are an unfloured surface. So I'm gonna shape this into the best ball I can, smooth around the edges, and then I'm just gonna go right in the middle and poke my thumb and just like move that around until you don't want to rip it, but you obviously want to puncture a hole. Okay, so in here I have my water bath going. You want to do this while you're shaping the bagels and letting them rise because it takes 15 or 20 minutes to bring a pot this size of water filled to about half to a boil. And I'm going to start my oven. So I'm going to preheat it to 425. I'm going to, now that it's almost closed, I'm going to add my honey to the water. The recipe calls for about a tablespoon. I don't know if I'll get to it in this video, but I want to make some sourdough croissants. I've never made sourdough croissants, and speaking of long recipes, the recipe's 4 pages long. So we'll see. Again, I'll get there when I get there. I think that's the only reason why I do anything, is I don't feel any pressure on time. All right, so I'm gonna throw our first bagel in and then go check on the baby. So now I'm just gonna grab my bagels. They look ready, and get them in the water bath.
I smiled as I picked them up.
Hi, buddy. Oh, thanks, Mel.
You gonna pull my hair?
And using the arm of my sweatshirt as an oven mitt. I typically do them about 2 or 3 minutes. I don't have a slotted spoon, so I'm just gonna use a fork to give them a quick flip. Okay, so during this time when they're cooled but still wet is when you want to dunk them in the bowl of seasoning. Look at that. So we're just gonna keep repeating until we have all of these dunked in the seasoning, and then I'll get them in the oven. No one wants to play nuts.
Wait.
I need to taste these. It's so good. It's the simplest thing.
Having them hot too, it's like whipping cream.
Yeah. The crunch on the outside, it's not rubbery like when you get a store-bought bagel. And it's just pillowy soft on the inside. I was just saying how I don't usually like bagels before they're toasted. It just adds like a whole nother layer of flavor. But I can never wait, and these are that good. Like, they're the most incredible bagels I've ever eaten, even without being toasted. I couldn't wait. I wanted to make an egg sandwich, but I couldn't wait. I also don't like eating things on camera, especially when I'm not camera ready at all. But I have to. So good.
I go to Einstein's, I just eat a bagel straight.
I'm back again. You have to try this recipe. I hope that showing it to you will make it less intimidating. Look at that.